Since the start of the year, the streets of Birmingham have looked like this. Rubbish piled high, with bins going uncollected.
We don't deserve this, We all live here, we've got kids walking past here every single day.
Striking refuse workers feared restructuring plans would cost them thousands.
I could be losing £600 a month. I could potentially lose my house over it.
They frustrated the efforts of those willing to work.
Can I ask why you're walking in front of the lorries today?
We're not going to back down.
And it meant rats were left to rule the roost.
This is a rat that I caught. It was in somebody's residence where the rubbish had been piling up.
While the council insists it won't back down,
I'm not prepared to do that, and I don't think people of this city would expect me to do that.
Birmingham has been left to hold its nose. For weeks now, it's been impossible to think of Birmingham without picturing scenes like this. Mountains of waste left uncollected and unsafe. This is the result of industrial action by angry refuse workers. But what is the reality of Birmingham's bin strike? To properly understand the issue at the heart of this industrial action, you have to go back to 2017. It was a hot summer, dogged by a dispute that left the streets stinking. Bin workers, angry at plans to cut and downgrade jobs, walked out.
3 weeks of rotting rubbish that I don't want to take down to the tip. I don't want to put this in my car.
After almost 3 months, it ended with a deal. Some working conditions would change and a senior role on the wagon would remain, but under a new name. Waste recycling collection officers would be paid up to £8,000 more than some of their colleagues. Now, the council fears that role could result in future equal pay claims. It's already had to pay out hundreds of millions of pounds to staff working in typically female-dominated roles like cleaning and catering, who were found to have been underpaid relative to some male-dominated jobs.
This council has been dogged by the issue of equal pay for many years, and that has dogged administrations of all parties. What I'm absolutely clear on as the leader of this council, that we are not going to repeat some of the mistakes that have been seen previously.
Strike by bin workers in Birmingham begins on Monday.
So in January, this dispute began. Initially, bin workers only refused to work on selected days each week. More than 350 Unite union members voted in favour of this industrial action, blaming their employer, Birmingham City Council, for, in their words, downgrading around 170 roles. They say it will cost each of those employees affected around £8,000 per year.
This is a local authority where the councillors voted themselves a 5.7% increase in their own allowances, at the same time as they expect our members to take a pay cut. That's why we are protesting. Our members cannot afford and will not lose £8,000 a year.
You've got rent to pay for, then you've got all your bills. Before you know it, you've got 200 quid left to eat for a whole month. We're not asking for any more money or anything like that. We're just trying to keep hold of the pennies that we've already got.
I could be losing £600 a month, and the impact on that, I could potentially lose my house over it, my family home.
Both sides appeared to be miles apart, even disagreeing on the facts, like how many workers will be affected and how much money they might lose.
They don't have to lose out financially if they accept the equal roles that we've offered in other parts of city operations.
At first, it meant recycling from Christmas wasn't collected.
I'm storing in the house now because I don't know when it's going to be collected. It just looks horrible.
Then, trips to the tip became more common.
I'm paying £2,000 of council tax, as I'm reminded every time I go to the tip in my invoice here to have my rubbish removed, and it's not happening, which is very disappointing, and there's no way to get any money back, it seems.
As frustrations grew among residents, behind closed doors, negotiations were at a stalemate. So the union upped the ante.
Bin workers today announced a drastic escalation. More than 350 workers will begin an indefinite all-out strike.
It means bins won't be collected by union members at all.
All household recycling was put on hold, and lorries staffed by agency workers tasked with collecting some general waste were left picking up what they could. It wasn't long before those striking workers drew heavy criticism for trying to frustrate the work of their agency colleagues who were still working. Instead of allowing them to freely collect the city's waste, they decided to get in the way. Most wouldn't tell us why.
Excuse me, I see you're walking in front of the lorries there. Can I ask why?
But one did.
Can I ask why you're walking in front of the lorries today?
Just as part of the dispute.
Do you think it's acceptable action, though, to slow down those who are willing to do some work?
If I said to you, are you happy to lose £8,000 a year, what would your answer be to me? No, exactly. So we're just doing what we feel right.
How determined are you to see this through?
Till the very end, months, we'll be 100%. We're not going to back down.
Their determination didn't seem to affect their feelings towards those still working.
These are agency guys. We have got no beef with these at all. There's been no in-house fighting, nothing.
Yet you're happy to stand in their way and stop them getting about their daily work?
It's a legal protest, what we're doing. I mean, it's a legal strike.
In parts of Birmingham, mountains are beginning to form.
The council claimed a backlog was building up because the lorries were being slowed down, limiting the number of daily collections. This was the scene on the day the all-out strike began. Rubbish soon piled up outside the entrance to restaurants. The city centre avoided the worst, largely because commercial collections continued. But in the suburbs, huge mounds of waste like this started to appear. A sight typical of a street corner where the roads are tightly packed and many homes are crowded.
We don't deserve this, you know. We all live here, we got kids walking past here every single day. Women with pushchairs having to come onto the road, which is not safe. You got rats, flies, smell, and it's really bad.
This has been like this for over 4 weeks, and it's ridiculous, it's pathetic. Rats, cats, the whole lot, you know, it's not right. It's unhygienic as well.
The stench is real bad. Some people coming from who are not around the area come and fly tip around here as well. So it's just, they find communal spots like this and they dump everything here basically.
What do you think about that?
Honestly, it's appalling to be fair. You should look after your own community.
I know that there's absolutely piles of rubbish.
People have been affected by this strike in different ways. For Perm Bachu, the pavements are littered with more obstacles, sometimes forcing her onto the road.
I feel socially isolated. My anxieties are through the roof actually. And when you hear vehicles coming past so close and you're in the road, you're thinking, is this me now? Is it my time?
You can see the teeth marks in the bags.
What's been hell for residents has been heaven for rats.
If this has been here for about 3 weeks, there could be anywhere from 6 to 30. Where? That's perfect nesting and harbourage for them. This was inside somebody's loft. Gained access. As you can see, it's quite long. You measure it from the tip to tail.
Rodents were soon blighting the lives of many.
Last 4 or 5 weeks, you have too much. Yeah, it's coming the double.
At this special school, rats ruined trips out.
With the vermin going around, we've had to pay for our minibus to be repaired because they've chewed through the electrics underneath the minibus, and so that put our minibus out of service for a good 10 days.
Our thermal imaging cameras filmed a dead rodent among the dumped waste, and we heard concerns that pets were being poisoned because of pest control measures.
We've had 2 cats, are dead cats on the site, and I've had to take them to the vets for microchip checks and see if they can be relocated with their owners.
One rat even turned up to a council meeting to say how happy he was with the state of the streets.
piles of black rubbish bags and overflowing bins lining Birmingham pavements.
With news of the strike spreading, Birmingham's reputation was on the line.
Près d'un mois et demi que les poubelles ne sont plus ramassées.
I had a friend visit from Manchester and I had to apologise for the state of the streets. And when you still see Birmingham having already been declared bankrupt and now we have a bin strike, we sound like a terrible city.
Birmingham City Council has declared a major incident as rubbish continues to pile up on the streets.
How does declaring a major incident bring the end of this strike any nearer?
I think it's got to be steps that we are taking to ensure that we're dealing with the backlog of waste that has accumulated.
But it doesn't help to end the strike.
It's regrettable that we find ourselves in this position, but I also have a duty, in addition to finding a solution to the industrial dispute, to ensure that the scenes that we now see with the waste that's accumulating are dealt with.
Finally, fleets of lorries staffed by agency workers began collecting thousands of tons of uncollected waste after striking workers seemed to have a change of heart and stopped blocking access from the depots.
As we were filming, we counted 4 bin lorries on the road in the space of an hour. The bin workers not on strike, tackling the enormous backlog to clean up a city.
The council also ramped up its mobile tip service, bringing trucks to specific locations.
Now, I've seen you making a few trips with several bags.
Yes.
You've still got a few bags here now.
Yes.
How come you've got so much? Or is it all yours?
No, it's not all mine. I'm doing it for the neighbours as well. So we do it over the last few weeks. People have collected for other people and taken them to the tip. But now to get to the tip, you have to book ages.
See, some of these are ripped open.
People were rallying together to get the bin bags and litter out of their communities.
It makes me feel very disgusted because, number one, it doesn't smell nice. Number two, rats come. Number three, it just doesn't look nice.
In April, it looked like the two sides were getting closer to a deal. After a visit by the Deputy Prime Minister, the union agreed to put a new offer to its members for a vote.
There is a significantly improved offer on the table for the workers, and I'm urging Unite to suspend their action and to accept that offer.
But the next week, that offer, which included one-off payments of up to £16,000, was overwhelmingly rejected. So some members could have received a one-off payment of 16 grand and they still voted no.
Hang on, but work it out. A one-off lump sum payment is all very well, but if you are going to be losing around £8,000 every single year, that lump sum isn't going to deal with the fact that you are going to get a sharp cliff-edge drop in your pay.
The race to clean up the streets then stepped up a gear. The government approved the use of army planners to assist the council with logistics.
Last month we spotted this rubbish mountain around the corner. It wasn't there today.
I am from Pakistan. It's my first day in this place. I like very much. I love it.
There's been a rubbish problem, but we've not seen anything really nice to us. We did think that we were going to find some big rats, didn't we? But we've not seen any.
After Easter, the backlog had gone. Residents were told collections were back to normal and to put their bins out on their usual pickup days. Though recycling collections remain suspended, and the council recognises that damage has been done to Birmingham's reputation.
I'm a proud born and bred Brummie. I've lived here all my life. It pains me when I see some of the images that have been transmitted out of Birmingham during the course of this waste dispute. And the reason it pains me is because we know that this is a great city with lots of opportunities in it.
The reason that we're not doing that.
This industrial dispute will undoubtedly leave a mark on this city. Since the start of the year, the public have been caught in the middle of a bitter industrial battle. And while much of the waste is now gone, the underlying problems can't just be swept away. The union still insists it's acting on behalf of its members in their best interest, while the council in the building behind me says it's trying to end its long-running battle over equal pay once and for all. The question now isn't just when the strike will end, but how. What kind of compromise, if any, can bring this dispute to a close? And what kind of waste service will Birmingham be left with once the dust finally settles? For now, the rubbish is gone, but the mess left behind is far more complicated to clear.